Welcome to the Wealth Project Podcast. Join us as we take the journey from employee to entrepreneur. Now your hosts, Sergio Suarez and Marcos Suarez.
What's going on, everybody? Marco here, one of your co-hosts for the Wealth Project Podcast. I just want to start by saying I apologize. This episode's probably coming out a little bit late this week. Serge and myself, we had a great episode planned for you guys. But unfortunately, Serge came down with the flu this week, and he can't be here with us. So we wish him a speedy recovery, but the plans had to change a little bit. And I originally had a different episode idea planned out for you all. And I was just about ready to record it, but then something different kind of happened, and the plans kind of changed yet again. So that's why this episode is going to be a little late this week. So I apologize once again for that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. This is going to be episode 17, and today I just want to share with you guys a story of a personal experience that just recently happened, and I had some pretty huge takeaways from it. So as I recently mentioned in this episode, I planned out, there was an interesting turn of events, and some of you may already know, Serge and myself, we started our first business in an MLM industry for CBD oils and hemp-derived products. So for those of you who are following, that venture should be back up and operating really soon here in Canada. They keep giving us positive updates, so we're hoping here maybe within the next couple of weeks. But for this reason, I've always taken somewhat of an active role in the CBD communities online and Facebook. I always read the testimonials. I join these groups on Facebook, and I see how certain products are doing, how it's affected people, and sometimes I throw in my own opinion if they ask the right questions or whatnot. But in one of these Facebook groups, the idea of MLM is really heavily frowned upon, and so for the sake of privacy, I won't go into the details of any of the names of anybody or the companies involved in this story. But there was one lady who would ask this question, and it was along the lines of, what is everyone's take on this specific company brand and their products? I became curious myself, and I decided to follow this question and see how people would answer, because I've never actually dealt with this company myself. So I just wanted to see how people were going to react and respond to this question, knowing that it was an MLM. Well, I should have expected what came next. I mean, like I said, MLM is heavily frowned upon by this group. And so immediately the responses became, it's MLM, don't trust it, blah, 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 all this. But there was one comment in particular that stood out and really caught my eye. And there was one person that responded. I think it was even the second comment on this lady's question. And it said, MLM, hell no, LOL, in all capital letters. There was nothing more to it. That was just it. This lady is here trying to get some information on a product, and I strongly believe in the power of CBD. CBD is life-changing for a lot of people. So she's here trying to get answers and, experiences and what people think of these products. And all of the answers she's getting is MLM, not worth it, blah, 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 all this. No one's really given her a straight answer. And all the responses she could get were just basically about this business structure, MLM. It didn't make any sense to me. So I decided to, I put in a little bit of my own input, and I responded with these exact words. Business structure should have no effect on the opinion of a product. Yes, this company is an MLM, but guess what? If you opened your pantry and seen a container labeled Tupperware, then you also supported an MLM. Guess that means the quality of their products are pretty bad and we should throw them all out, right? Well, MLM is a business-based structure, and that's nothing more. It has nothing to do with the quality of the products they deliver. Now, if you recall, earlier I had mentioned that this particular group frowns heavily upon the idea of MLM and any business structure similar to it. So I knew full well what I was getting into when I posted this response, and Serge can actually attest to this, because as soon as I posted my response, I had messaged him, and I told him, well, I think I just pissed off a lot of people in this CBD-based group. Sure enough, within seconds, that lady that had posted the initial response of MLM, hell no, LOL, in capitals, she responded to my comment instantly. Probably within 5 seconds, she had a response, and all she said was, all MLMs are predatory. At this point, I don't think I've ever facepalmed so hard in my life, but I didn't really want to get into it with this lady because she seemed pretty close-minded. And I knew I was probably going to garner a bunch of different responses. So I just responded to her with, that's pretty stereotypical, but whatever, to each their own. And, as I expected, I did garner a bunch of responses. And within the next hour, this lady's question had a full list of comments. Mine was the top comment that had the most reactions and the most replies. But the surprising part here was that the hate that I expected to receive was actually the opposite. I had received such a positive response. I had people liking my stuff, my answer, I had received full support. People were thanking me for standing up for the industry. People were giving their own testimonials based on this company to my comment. They weren't even answering the lady's question. They were replying to my comment and telling me how great the products were for this company. Unfortunately, and I can respect this, the admins of the group didn't like the direction that the conversation was headed. And some people began to criticize this person who had initially commented, "Oh, MLM, oh, hell no." So they deleted the question, and there's no evidence of it at all anymore. But there was one comment before they deleted it that really stood out for me, and it was just so beautifully written that I had to share it with you all. I didn't catch the name of the lady because, like I said, they did delete the entire question. She responded in retaliation to the person who said, "All MLMs are predatory." She had this to say about that. "No, that's the same with any industry. If you head to a store and somebody is trying to make a living off of earning a commission through sales, then they are all of a sudden a predator too. Here's the thing. MLM is no different than buying local or from a small family operated shop, where you might choose to support that small family business or a local based product or service. I choose to support MLM in that I much rather give my money to that struggling single mother trying to support her children and escape the 9-to-5 rat race through starting her own MLM-based business, then I would to the big companies that are already making millions if not billions of dollars. Think on that the next time you decide to bash MLM." I was beautifully written because that's exactly what it is, MLM has this negative rep around it because there are the affiliates out there who are, they're pestering, they're annoying. They'll go and, "Oh, you bought a product from me, buy your next one, do this, blah, blah, blah." And they're just trying to make that sale. But there's the people out there that are hardworking. There's single mothers, there's people struggling out there that are just trying to make that extra cash. And by choosing to support MLM, you're supporting them. So that's huge. That response practically brought a tear to my eye, but throughout this entire experience, there was a couple big takeaways that I was able to gather. And the number one takeaway was that if you believe in something, just stand up for it. You might be surprised by the results like I was. I totally expected to get bashed and, maybe even kicked from this group, which I've been a part of for a long time. I love reading testimonials on what CBD can do for people, but to my surprise, I got a lot of support, people thanking me. It was awesome. I really liked that, the way things turned out. But, as the saying goes, there's no risk, no reward. The second big takeaway that I took from this is the importance of asking the right questions and understanding where people are coming from. This lady simply asked, what is everybody's opinion on this brand of products? And she received responses. Obviously, she got answers, but I'd probably say about 90% of those answers weren't really answering the question that she was kind of asking. It was all based on, let's trash this business structure. CBD, maybe you don't know what she's going through. Maybe she's struggling through chronic pain and she's just looking for a solid quality product, and people are telling her nothing about the product and what it's done for them. And they're telling her about the business structure like that has anything to do with her chronic pain or something, right? So the importance of asking questions, maybe it's no fault of her own, but maybe in this particular case, a better question would have been to ask for testimonials on the product as opposed to people's opinions on the brand. By asking for testimonials, you essentially just eliminate answers like MLM, oh hell no. By asking through testimonials, you're getting people who have experienced the product and they're sharing what their results were with you. That could be applied to anything. It's not just CBD. I mean, if you go out there and you're looking for a new vehicle, for example, everybody has different experiences with vehicles, so maybe it's not the best example. But if you go out and you test drive one vehicle, and somebody tells you, 10 of your friends tell you they have problems with that vehicle, chances are, maybe it's a reoccurring thing. If they've all had the same problem with their vehicles, then maybe it's a reoccurring thing, and that's not where you want to head. But different story, different time. Anyways, that's all I wanted to share with you guys this week. I know this is going to be an extremely short episode. I don't even know if we've reached the 10-minute mark on this episode, but I just thought this was an awesome story to share with you guys. Basically, stand up for what you believe in, and remember to ask the right questions. As always, if you liked our content, give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to sign up to our email list where you get a free copy of our book. Starting Your Wealth Project basically takes you through the steps of getting set up on your business so that you can hit the ground running. And thank you always for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Project Podcast. Visit our website at thewealthprojectpodcast.com. See you next episode.